Right,
Okay.
you can see me, can't you?
Yes.
Right, that's cool. Okay, go for
Cool.
it.
See ya.
Welcome back. Here we are again. Rhubarb yoga and another heart opening class. Looking at a different way and a different approach to accessing the front of the body. So it's not so much a heart opening, but there is heart opening here. We are going to be opening the front of the body, looking at it in a different way too. So whenever we're looking at opening a section of the body, the sides, the front, the back, there are chakras that are activated through this. But there is also a solar plexus, a nerve bundle. This could be classed as our second brain. And this can be where we get the butterflies in the stomach sensation. We get a funny tummy when there's something happening and we're not quite sure, or a nervous stomach, are some phrases that people might come out with. Now, weirdly enough, our solar plexus, we may feel is here, but actually, it's halfway down our spinal column on our 12th lumbar vertebrae. And this is where our solar plexus nervous system is based. So by activating any parts of the body, including this area, we are doing ourselves a fantastic justice. We are calming and soothing ourselves. We are rebalancing our nerves, and we are putting ourselves to rest. So today, including that, we are going to be looking at tiger's tail flow, or Virabhadrasana. And we're going to be looking at Hasta Virabhadrasana, Hasta being hand, which means we're coming to tiger's tail bind. Don't be unnerved. It doesn't mean you've got to do it. Accessing the pose in one way or another is still giving yourself beneficial physical and mental goodness. And that's the only thing that we're interested in today. So when we move into our tiger's tail flow, the great thing about tiger's tail pose is that as it's classed as back bend, we are flexing the muscles and the spinal column. We are soothing the kidneys by activating them and calming our stress that can build around our hips and our pelvis. And we are also accessing and activating our adrenal glands too. So when we do the forward opening of the body into our Hasta Virabhadrasana today, or a tiger's tail bind, what we're also doing is by accessing the front of the body, opening it up, we are allowing anybody that has allergies to be able to breathe deeper and expand the chest. And anybody that suffers from asthma is going to really benefit from this pose, from the sheer openness of the actual shape. So give it a whirl. Even if you don't feel like it today, if your balance is a little bit off kilter, be kind to yourself and take your time. We are going to start in cat-cow to start loosening and accessing the spine. And I'll go through it on both sides like normal. And take your time and watch it. Watch it as many times as you need to. Try a little bit, try it all, do whatever suits you today. So let's go. So starting in our cat-cow, and we're just going to roll into our spine. So hands are underneath the shoulders in a nice vertical line. Knees underneath the hips. We've got a nice flat back that's perpendicular. We're not curving, we're not arcing. And shins are flat to the ground. And if you're feeling a little bit off balance, tuck the toes. That will just give you a little bit of extra support and stability until you feel more balanced today. So taking a deep breath in, we're going to tip the pelvis, lower the belly, roll the spine, lifting the chin, and starting that opening of the chest between the shoulders. And feel like you're pulling your hands and knees towards each other, even though you're not, and that action will just encourage the curve of the spine. Breathing out, push away from the ground, curving that spine, allowing the vertebrae to open and expand like the gills of a fish. Rolling back under a couple of times to access a deeper curve, more flexibility, and just a little bit more confidence in your movements today. One more push into an angry cat today. going to thread the needle. So we're going to lift the right arm, we're going to sweep it up towards the ceiling, grounding the shins or tucking the toes so we don't overbalance, and pushing into the left arm to keep this twist being supported, and then we're going to dive underneath, threading the arm through till we come to rest on the shoulder, and if that's a little uncomfortable, put a block here under the head. It's absolutely fine, or a towel. And while we're breathing, make sure we're not twisting the pelvis by grounding the right shin. Right arm, right shin, keeping us balanced. And just allow the breath to come into the right ribs to splaying those open, activating the intercostals, flexing everything up around the upper torso, encouraging the ability to open into a Virabhadrasana. So we're going to open this top arm to encourage the twist again, a little bit of a heart opener, a chest expander, twisting and activating the front part of the body. And then we're going to extend the left leg out, and we're going to make sure it's in line with our hip, foot flat to the floor so we've got stability, keeping the hand on the sacrum, just double checking we're not twisting, and then that will encourage the twist. Allowing more openness or strength, you can bind the arm behind you, even if it's just on the sacrum, you can go to the thigh or the outer glute, allowing a deeper twist across the chest, deeper breath. As you can tell, there's not pace to this flow, it's more about taking the time to experience the openness and the stretch. Bring that leg back, tuck the toe under for a second, and then we're going to bring that knee into the nose, curling the back up for a half plank, half floating plank, and then we're going to extend back out, flexing the foot, pushing through the back heel, activate the thighs, keeping the legs strong, and bringing that belly in, bringing up your pelvic floor and your mulla bandha, keeping the core strong, and keeping the arms underneath and over the wrists to give us support and stability. Breathing back in, we're going to curl that spine, extend back out on the exhale. And as we exhale, the belly empties, the pelvic floor comes up, and it comes closer to the belly button to give us a strong core. One more time. Extend out through the back heel. If you feel you're slightly wobbly, just tuck the other toes under to give you balance. Then we're going to bend that back leg, and now we're in our tiger's tail. Just activate the hamstring of that thigh for a second, stretch back out, and then we're going to raise the opposite arm, extending through, opening up the laterals at the sides of the body, and the armpit too, ready. So we're going to curl that back foot up, we're going to swing the arm round, and we're going to possibly hold the foot. And if we don't do it today, it doesn't make any difference. And by kicking the foot into the hand and the hand gripping the foot, not pulling it too in, not closing it down, opening up, expanding through the chest, through the thigh, the quads, gripping and grounding with that left hand into the ground, keeping us stable with the right back leg. Stretch that back leg out, front arm forward, down and back. Coming down and back to the legs, into a small child's pose for a second to regroup, resting the shoulders. If they're burning, you can tuck the arms behind you, or you can have them out and allow them to drop just for a second. Forehead to the mat, expanding through the ribs. And this can feel quite a tough one. This can feel quite intense, particularly in the shoulders and the wrists. So please make sure you're warming your wrists up before you do this. And we'll do that at the end, just to show you how you can cool those down as well. So let's swap sides. We're going to repeat. We can do it on the opposite side today. And Double check that we're balanced. So hands under those shoulders again, knees under the hips, shins to the ground, and if you're feeling a little bit off balance, tuck those toes just to give you extra stability. Double checking and try and elongate that neck. Feel like a tortoise coming out of the shell. Don't crunch in, otherwise you're going to crunch that neck, you're going to get sore and tight. Keeping that head and neck elongated. Okay, so let's go. Let's do another cat-cow, just to make sure that we're evening out the movements and the flow. We're not putting strain on the body and we're warm. And we'll come into your cat-cow. Move how you like. Keeping that neck long, the chest open, the undulation of the spine. Sinking. And then we're going to do our thread the needle. So opposite hand. Putting our weight in this arm. Sweeping that up. Twisting to where it's comfortable for us. And then diving underneath. Lowering the shoulder or a blanket or onto a block if that's what we need today. Supporting with that bottom hand and shins into the ground to prevent that twist. Keeping that pelvis from rocking to the side or the other. Take a breath here to allow the shoulder to open and ribs to expand. And then we raise this arm up to open the chest, to expand and feel the breath coming into the top part of the body. Rolling the arm behind, onto the sacrum, to the hip or to the thigh. If you have that access, don't worry if you don't. The hand can stay by the head and still be extremely valuable. And then we're going to extend the leg out to the side, checking that our hip is not pushed back, it's not pushed forward, getting that alignment, using this leg as a prop. Now raise the arm if that's what you want to do this time. And then feel the opening of the chest. Allow the neck to be relaxed, don't crunch it up. Possibly roll the arm behind again for another bind to open this chest to this side if that's something that you want to try. And enjoy the depth of the breath in this shape. Bring the hand back. Slide that arm out gently. Take your time with this. Bring the leg back again, expand it out. Just release through the calf so there's no cramp with your tiger's tail later on. And then we're going to raise that leg, push through the heel. Try not to curve this bottom, don't arc up. Try and keep everything in a nice line, using that toes to tuck under just to support us if we need it. Pushing through the heel. Then we curve in on in-breath. Expand out on the inhale, exhale. Keeping our strength, bringing our core in, lifting our pelvic floor, keeping our centre strong, using our arms for support, bringing back in for a half low plank. Back out, expand through the leg. One more time. And then extend all the way out and lift that front opposite arm. Now using that straight arm that's supporting us to keep us strong, engaging that core, extend and activate the thigh. That will give us some strength. Bend that calf up and that thigh to activate the hamstring to give us a small inkling of what's to come. Bring the leg back out and then sweep the arm round and go for the bind if that is what is your choice. Take a breath, allow the chest to expand, push the foot into the hand into the foot. Lower the head if the balance is feeling a little bit delicate. It will give us a drishti and allow us to just give some more balance. And very gently, hand out, leg out, and down. Now come back to that child's pose. Allow the back to soften over the thigh.
arms out to a T to relax the shoulders, or along the sides of the leg, just to release.
Okay, so that, you may discover, is a little bit of an intense flow. That's why there's no pace to it of great speed, because the breath is far more important for the access points that are deep and available, and the benefits that can come from this. You'll find a beautiful expansion at some point. You will discover expansive rib space, and you will hopefully find some delicious sensations in certain places in this flow. So let's just have a look at releasing our wrists and our shoulders. Very, very, very simple. We're going to bring the shoulders up, forward, down and back. We can place the hands on the thighs, knees, floor, wherever's comfortable for you. Up, forward, down and back. And we're going to do that a couple of times, and then we're going to repeat it, which can sometimes mess with your brain. So just concentrate or close your eyes. Up, back, down, forward. Up, back, down, forward. Up, back, down and forward. You will hear some crunching, you will hear some grinding. That is the human anatomy. But if you feel pain, stop and rest. So we're just going to release the hands. We're just going to do simple wrist circles and some stretching. And these can be done before this flow and after, and it will just take the pressure off, particularly the wrist joints, any of the fascia around the hand, and just stop any pain or pinching of joints, and pressure can be applied. So we're going to put our thumbs in our palm, we're going to close our fingers over it, and we're going to do very simple wrist circles. Now the arms can be out straight, or they can be bent, or they can be tucked. Either way, this is just a really simple wrist refresher. And whatever you do in one direction, make sure you do in the other to balance out the work. And then you want to open the palms, open the thumbs, and then push the palms away and then flick them back. Push the palms away and flick them back. And it's not about the arms moving, it's about the wrists moving. And this is just going to extend all the tendons along the back of the hand, down the forearm, which can feel uncomfortable, can feel tight and overworked sometimes. And this is great if you use keyboards a lot, if you type a lot, or you work at a desk. And then we're going to turn them over, we're going to push them away, I'm going to flick them down. Push them away, flick them down. And all that does is just balance out the motion in both directions. And then one more, very simple, windscreen wipe in the hands. Now you can do them in one direction, or you can do them in opposite directions, whatever works. This is also a nice shoulder release as well. And then do them in the opposite direction. Just to make sure you've released any tension or tightness. And allow the arms to become heavy and soft. So hopefully you found something today that gave you some inspiration, made you smile, or pushed you to what you thought was your limit.